Hey fellas, so one of the guys on one of the other videos asked about what stuff I use to port heads and intakes and that. So this is it. It's nothing like cosmic or fancy or whatever. It's just stuff you get at like McMaster Car, Granger, or any industrial supply place like that. And all I did was take and get an ammunition can. You can get these at Amazon or Harbor Freight and eBay or Army Navy store. I think has them too. This thing's like I think it's like 7 inches wide, 8.5 inches tall, which is good because it lets me put the tall burrs in there, and it's like a foot long. So I just took a piece of 2x4, cut it to length, put a screw in each end to hold it still, and then I drilled a bunch of holes in it and then put it in there, secured it, and that's where I put all the burrs. And then those are just wrenches to take the burrs on and off my two grinders. I got this one's got the little longer reach, and then this is a standard one. This one I got at Home Depot several years ago, but it's still kicking. It's pretty beat up. This one is, I think, from Harbor Freight. I use like an oil, put a couple of drops of oil in it. Each time before I use it or after I've used it for a while. I also got the stuff somewhere. Yeah, it's Marvel mixture oil and transmission fluid mixed in a spray bottle. And I'll spray that on the burrs or in the port, just to keep it lubed up. And then I'll even put a squirt or two in here once in a while just to, like I said, keep it lubed up. They last a lot longer that way. Not the other thing I have is these. You can buy these at the Harbor Freight. It's like a sanding belt. I take these. They come in. This is the best, like, bang for the buck. I take these with my super deluxe scissors that I got at Harbor Freight also, because the wife gets mad if I use her scissors on this stuff. And I just cut it into 1-inch strips, like so, lengthwise, and then cut it like a 2 or 3 inch strip long. And then what I can do is use that on this. It's a burr that I cut the actual burr off, so I just got this long shank, cut a notch in here, and then I can put this, if I can do this with one hand, but I put that on, on the die grinder, and then I run that in the port too. It's like a flap wheel then, and because 36 grit leaves a pretty good, nice, kind of somewhat rough finish, a little smoother than that cast port. And you can use the finer sanding stuff in the exhaust port. I use a little bit rougher on the intake, and then a smoother one in it, or finer one in the exhaust. There's no point in like polishing it to a mirror finish, because after you run it for a while, you're gonna have exhaust residue on the port anyway. So it's kind of wasting your time. So what I do when I port is I got this kind of a caliper, and then I have this one, which was a straight one that I modified, put a 1/4 inch bolt on it, welded it on there, and then each one is marked every 1/2 inch increment. And then what I can do is go to each port and I can put it in there, so that's in there just about 1 inch. Then I pull it out, take my trusty caliper here, and I measure the width of the caliper. And then I've got a spreadsheet on a computer that Joel made, my Puerto Rican buddy. So I put that on here, and then I measure, the height and the width. So at a 1/2 inch, it's 1.84 high, 1.05 wide. And then I do that all the way through the port, and then I also measure the throat and the short turn, all that stuff. It's in here, and he's got some formulas in there that tells what the total is, and then the area, the cross section. So then I can go down each port, I can measure at each increment, make sure they're all the same, as close as I can make it. I'm not obviously a CNC machine is way more accurate than what I would be doing. And then of course, then I kind of map it out, and that's what I have. So then I have this for future reference if I want to replicate what I did. I got all the information right there. And that's basically what I do. It's not, like I said, nothing cosmic. You can see this stuff is just all stuff you can get at, like I said, McMaster Car, Granger, whatever. I think Summit even sells some, but I don't know how good they are. Also, CarbideBurrs.com has some, and another one. I'll put it in the link in the comments below. I can't think of it right offhand. And then these sanding rolls are just, you can buy these at, get them from Standard Abrasive, of course. That's what these are. But I think the last one, this is the last one I bought, I got from Amazon. I like the 1.25 long, you know. I think these are 60 grit, something like that, 40. But like I said, I prefer the little bit rougher port. And that's about it. It's nothing, like I said, nothing cosmic, simple stuff. Just any retard like me can replicate it. And just take your time. Don't go too big. Don't go too, don't get too aggressive where you're poking holes and stuff. You'll be able to tell. Actually, you can hear it. You'll hear the burr. It'll start sounding a little different. That's when you're getting into the thin metal. So that's where you need to hoe up. Don't get too far along where you make something where you got to cut up like I did later on. So I'll put up the link for the other site in the comments, and so you guys can check it out. All right, appreciate y'all. Later.